women naturally want the covering and the protection that the masculine energy can provide when it's in alignment. So, there's always this conversation that is putting men against women and, you know, making women look like we're the villain in the story. And if you look at a lot of the stories, you have was it Snow White, the evil queen. There's different stories told to paint certain pictures of women when they stand in their power, but it's always in a skewed, dark light. So when we have to become more masculine to be successful in this masculine, patriarchal dominated world, and then we are villainized for those same things, speaking up. Um, some women actually transform and become men because they have not had that protection. So that the very thing that they lack, we have to become to feel like we can protect ourselves in this world. And it makes us more hard, The feminine wants to be soft and open and vulnerable and abundant. So even when men villainize women for wanting money, we want security. That's what the masculine provides. It provides the security so the feminine can flourish and be the the queen of the domain, the life that you create together, the family that you create together. So as long as we're pitted against each other and the feminine is vilified, even the masculine, is vilified, but it's all about coming back to a balance, and it's having the awareness and these conversations that can heighten the awareness and get beyond our triggers and our trauma. So I watched a video the other day of this guy talking about women. And the funny thing is, this video was posted by my two oldest children's father. And the man was talking about, well, first of all, he posted on the video that this is why I'll never date women from the West or Western women, pointing to the passport bro movement where men are coming overseas because they want submissive women and more feminine women. And when you find those women, they want you for your money because that money is going to provide a level of security so that they can flourish and be feminine. So the very things that many men villainize the Western woman for wanting money, and maybe it's in the lens how it's projected that women want the money, under the capitalistic lens and materialism, but under that is the want and need for security and safety, you know? Because it's when you're in survival, when you don't feel safe in your body, in the environment, in your region, in your country, in your social group, in your, so-called race, your class, um, your heart doesn't really open, you're on guard. So the feminine, because of a lot of betrayal from the masculine, because I meet so many women who were open and free and, and then they experience betrayal and trauma from men who they love and they open up and will give anything to and they're taken advantage of and heartbroken, and I see the trauma response that causes. And the heart for a woman, the heart is connected to the womb as well as the throat. So for me, when I started to heal my heart, I feel like I started to experience more pleasure and sexual energy as spiritual energy, and was able to utilize that energy, moving kundalini, moving just energy to even clear and open certain channels. And that led to the empowerment of my voice and being able to speak. So for a woman, all these things are connected. But it's all connected. Our pleasure, our heart, how safe we feel, how we experience pleasure, how we're connected to our body, or if we're disconnected. So all I'm saying, this whole conversation was to say, give women money, support women. Why would you not want to do that? You don't want your woman to be like provided for and happy and be able to focus on more purpose. I believe that all of us are here to live a joyful and amazing life where we have the resources that we need to create. And by getting out of survival, you can get into thriving and actually utilizing your time to create in alignment with your soul and the wisdom that is within you and what wants to come through and be expressed in this environment, in this physical dimension. And that's what many people call purpose. It's what wants to be expressed in service and in love. So people do that in many ways. Some people are teachers. Some people, drive a truck. You know, Many people do it because they think that's the way they need to do it, or that's the expectations of society, or that's what they were told. But what happens when you marry purpose and movement and work? You're working with a purpose in alignment and in service to yourself, to your greater community and the planet. This is where businesses need to evolve and go to. Because there is no way that any business should be profiting while they are also polluting the planet, like massively. So this is because for so long the the greed factor of money, because everything, is energy. It could be used positively or negatively, depending on the consciousness of the person who is wielding the tool. So for a long time, there have been the accumulation of wealth by a concentrated few. Let's call it that. And and the rest of us, have been struggling for a long time. Some have been able to create wealth and move up. And there is, I was listening to this book the other day, and it was talking about if you divide all the money up in the world, like I said, a select few have a lot of money, and then the majority have un poquito. So if you divide all the money up in the world and gave everyone equally, everyone would still be millionaires. So there's no reason for, scarcity, hunger, sickness, war, disease. That the root of all of that is the disconnection and us giving the illusion, like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey. We're given the illusion that, hey, chase this thing over here. Look over here. Don't look over there. Don't go that way. But with each of us being able to consciously awaken and begin the journey of returning home to ourselves, of healing and releasing all the things that we have taken on and become the false beliefs, the limiting beliefs, the trauma, the ego conditioning and the fear and the over identification with all those things that will have you blind to who you are, not just this physical, you know, vessel, this vehicle. So for a long time, we're in our society, we're conditioned to believe that we're the body. So there is what is it, like the obsession with the body and with youth and with beauty. Beauty is represented by Venus, and it's very feminine. So I think we always have that naturally, innately within us. But when we focus on it above everything else, it's like you're in the gym and one muscle is just stronger than all the rest because you're like, yay, this is the muscle, this is my right hand, this is the hand I do everything with, so I got to get this one really strong. And then you you neglect other areas. So for many of us in society, we have been focusing on the physical dimension and accumulation and in survival for a very long time. And that is just a small fraction of what is available to us as creators and co-creators in this reality and dimension. So we have the opportunity to write a new story, tell a new story, and weave in the stories and the traditions and the strength and the blessings of our ancestors and the natural world and the gods and goddesses that we know about. So, wow, I did not know I was just going to go on a whole rant, but that's what happens when you can sit outside and to the birds chirping, right and under. So this is my home. This is La Casa. So this, I don't know, this is the message today. I'm going to post this on my YouTube. If you watch to the end, you're a real one. And I really appreciate love you. I really do. It's been a long time coming, and I'm grateful to be sharing all these messages, insights, revelations, I'm grateful for the resonance and for you being open and receptive to deeper truths and what you feel. Follow that calling, that longing for meaning, for truth, for love, for elevation, the goals and the visions that you have for your life, not based on any limitations, but from what you feel within your heart. You hear it, you feel it. Keep listening. And when you hear and you know, When you know, then you take action, aligned action. So, peace and love. Let's go to a commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to Shanika Naked Wild and Free. Hit the button above, subscribe, and remember that you can always come to Colombia for a retreat. So contact me, send me a message, and let me know what your intentions are, and you can be in here in Colombia. Animals are fighting. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace and love, y'all. Thank you for your support. Please share this. Please let me know what resonates with you, and spread the love. Spread the love. Just take a minute to put your hand on your heart and breathe into your heart. You bring the air in, fill up your lungs, then fill up your belly. Expanding, 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 creating space. At the top of the inhale, just hold it for a second. That pause. And then exhale. Try to slow the breath down. And place your hand on your heart and just breathe, feeling the rise of your chest when you inhale. And as you exhale, the releasing, the letting go of any tension, of any stress, any pain, anything that has been weighing on you. And just connect to your heart. Set the intention to keep your heart open. Keep your heart open, keep your heart open. And that the love that you're seeking is also seeking you, and that you'll be a magnet for that love, for that beautiful divine mirror. Peace and love, y'all. Con mucho, mucho amor y cariño from Colombia.